chicken is very popular here in Hong Kong. It's a very local dish. This is one of the best roasted chicken I've tried. Very humbly, I would say. So this is the first step on our 5 days process for the chicken. These are called tree yellow chicken. They are very famous because of their fat content. It's actually really good for the roast chicken because it keeps all the meat very moist and juicy when we cook them. Now the only thing we're gonna do is stuff it with a couple of garlic cloves, just directly inside. This is just gonna give extra flavors, and then we stay French. A little bit of butter. Just for the, yeah, that one I don't think we can give up on that. Stanley is the chicken master.
Which one of you can do it faster?
These days, him. 3-4 years ago, I would have taken him, no problem. It's really something people are coming for. Crazy, like there's 9 tables out of 10 that are ordering the chicken. What makes Hong Kong food scene great is actually diversity of it. Louise has been a French restaurant from the opening. We actually try to focus on original flavors, but with a modern touch and a sense of place at the same time. But I don't want to be labeled as a French Asian restaurant. It's still like a very French restaurant, but with local touches and a sense of place. Yeah. This has been brining for 24 hours. So we're just gonna remove that from the brine, or we're gonna tie them. And since we're gonna give a first pre-cooking, the shape we're gonna give now is the final shape of the chicken. You have something with the legs up, very tight and round in shape. There we go, beautiful babies. Here is what we received this morning. So you have red sea Gurnard. It's inspired actually by a very classic dish. It's the bouillabaisse. I'm sure you heard of it. The specificity actually of this dish is to make it look like it hasn't been touched. There's still the guts inside. This one we wanna remove it also and clean it completely. And if you look at the fish, you know, it stands by itself, right? So you still have the original shape of the fish, but with nothing inside. So when people actually eat it, the only part when we left with the bone is actually the tail and the head. Apparently they like crabs, huh? Look, it's a lot of tiny ones actually. There's a lot of people comparing Hong Kong to New York because it's very vibrant, very energetic and all. But there's also a lot of like small villages and nature in Hong Kong. And there's a lot of fishing village. If you go in Tai Po, if you go in Sai Kung, there are parts where you can find like beautiful seafood. This one I would say we sell 5 to 10 a day. The origin of the dish coming from the bouillabaisse. We're actually gonna stuff the entire fish that is completely deboned with some grilled vegetable, bit of octopus and some condiments, different spices, chili, fennel seed, coriander seed, anise alcohol that we're gonna flambe. Yeah, I think a lot of people are actually surprised. First of all, there's no bone inside. We have a lot of guests to ask if we can debone for them. That's a good thing because it means it looks quite real. Done. So quick. So that's about 11 a.m. and we have our beautiful supplier today to join and to bring us those beautiful truffle.
This particular batch is out of Manjimup, which is from the southwest of Western Australia. Really fantastic growing conditions down there.
It's like it's got this nice and black color with like white, orange vein. Actually, you can see it's very perfectly ripe. This is the first thing we look at. It's more on the maturity of it because that's where you get the most taste and smell out of it.
You also want to run your nose over it, make sure you've got that really beautiful scent. And you want to make sure that it's really firm as well.
We don't do like a particular menu or dish with the truffle itself, but we actually propose it as a seasonal add-on. We'll take 1 or 2 big ones.
6,600, 650, yes, yeah. Is Hong Kong dollars.
650, 700 USD. So now it's slicing all the potato. So we're gonna build layer by layer, 1 layer of potato, some clarified butter, then the seaweed, 1 more layer of potato, and then more and more until it gets a mille-feuille. So this dish actually is a perfect bar snack. You have like that deep fried potato, very soft inside and very moist, then a brown butter cream on top, and the caviar that is very luxurious, brings all the saltiness to it. You know, there's something I love about cooking is that you can associate very humble products such as potato or onions, for example, that people won't put in the middle of the plate. That's the same. This one is just like different layers of potato that we build up together with seaweed, shio kombu and nori, just for the umami and the saltiness and the roundness. I feel like the seaweed is something that gives a lot of depth. When you drink a glass of champagne or a cocktail, you have this bite, honestly pretty good. Next step is actually to bake them. The idea is just to slow cook it. So it's nice and tender, So that's actually how it looks after it's been cooked in the oven. It completely holds its shape. At this point after we're gonna cut the pieces that we want. You can see that you have this like nice golden color. It's crispy on the outside. You can see the texture and then nice and soft on the inside. Now there's only like small components going on. We're just gonna put some chives and shallot on top. There we go. So that's a brown buttercream. You know, it's like a fancy bite, I would call it. We use actually the caviar from Maison Caviari. Particular kind of caviar is called crystal caviar. If we put caviar, you gotta put some. It's not something that is just here as a decoration or something. It's like you gotta be generous with it. So you have the outside layer very crunchy and yummy, and inside something very soft and delicate.
With a cold beer or something.
Yeah, it's asking for a drink. Next dish, the onion tart, really comfy onions that we serve with brioche bread between the croissant dough. The onion, they've been pre-cooked in butter and yellow wine. Just before service, we're gonna roast them, slowly roast with like butter, a little bit of aromatic like garlic, thyme. We have here some chicken juice. So you just wanna use this juice to glaze up the onions. You want this nice and shiny look. So this one is a gel that we do with yellow wine. And the last part actually is a cherry vinegar gel. The black truffle that we select just before. This one I'm just gonna slice them up a bit, around 10 grams, something like that. Touch of the puree for the taste, but also to make it a little bit more stable when we're gonna plate. Then we put the onion on top of the croissant dough like that. I'm just gonna place it over the onion tart. Yellow wine sabayon over here. Then right in the middle like that. The idea came from a tarte tatin. We start with the bottom layer that is a croissant dough. It's kind of flaky texture of puff pastry, but the richness of a brioche. Yeah, so now it's 4 o'clock. Yeah, 2 hours before service. I think the guy's gonna finalize all the last touches, start to set up for the service. I'll see you for the rush. This is for one of our starter dish. It's a cold dish actually that we pair with clementine and fir buds. Langoustine is naturally very sweet and fatty. It's actually super good to pair with something with a little bit of acidity and nutty flavor with the fir buds. You want to remove all the shell without breaking the tail. So you see, you want the entire piece to stay. So it's about 6:30, 7 p.m. now, so we're going to start the service. Everyone's ready for the prep, ready to rock. It's quite intense because you have this sense of timing, where the pressure is coming from. Like you go to the restaurant at 7 p.m, you don't want to eat at 9 or 10 p.m, right? After the process of pre-cooking, that's how the chicken came out of the oven. You can see the color of it from the fat content, I believe. They are super shiny yellow, like bright yellow, right? So that's the particularity of this breed. First of all, we're gonna dry age for 3 days, and then when the guest is ordering it, just gonna put 35 minutes in the oven. High heat, so it just gets like that nice and crispy skin. The fact we are serving it with rice also makes it even more local. The texture is super important. It's not like just a simple rice that we cook. We cook it with the chicken broth, seasoned with chicken fat, a bit of spring onion and chives. That texture actually is super important. It feels like it almost feels like sushi rice, when you can almost feel the rice like grain by grain. We have that beautiful roasted chicken that we prepped together just now. So that's after 5 days process. You can see the skin is like nice and crispy, right? Nice and crunchy. We're gonna use all the part of the chicken, right? So we have the oyster here. Is it called this one in French? The direct translation for it is called the full leave it. People that don't know actually that it's the best part, leave it on the bone. That's the direct translation of it. Comes all together like this. Always nice to have like a green salad with a chicken juice, and the whole chicken over here. Sounds like a good Sunday, no? And fire 1/2 chicken, 28 or so. I feel like everything is important in a restaurant, not only the food. I feel like you go first for the food, but you come back for the ambience and the atmosphere. Every part is important, from the service team to like the kitchen. This is the langoustine we peeled just now. We season them with a bit of espelette chili, clementine jam, fresh clementine, and fir buds pickle. Touch of smoked cream. A little bit of Maldon salt. Then I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of the powder on top. It's made with fir buds. So we dry them out and then just blend them completely. And we're just gonna pour it all over the langoustine. And we're gonna finish with a tuile. So this is just feuille de brique that we cook with a bit of honey. Just press it on top and that's it. Visual is quite clean and quite simple. Muscle, one hot chicken, one ribeye, one fries. I think the biggest goal for us is to create that a little escape from reality. Like going to the restaurant for me should be a pleasure for everyone. I feel like everything is important in a restaurant, not only the food. I feel like you go first for the food, but you come back for the ambience and the atmosphere. So that's what we try to combine at Louise, do something very refined and proper, but at the same time, if the guest is very friendly with us, we can sit down with them, have a drink with them, and then that's gonna be totally fine. It's part of the experience also that we wanna bring at Louise.